Oof. Alright, yeah. Pretty large box here. We got the, I guess it was the Emperor Pledge from this lovely game here. I'm not going to pronounce it, not going to say it because I'm probably going to pronounce it incorrectly. But, yeah, so this was the all-in version. So you got the lovely metal coins here. So let's take a quick look at those. Oh, they're chunky. They are quite chunky. I don't know if they're showing up well on screen. Yeah, okay, now they're going. Yeah, but they're quite hefty coins. Yeah, they're quite hefty. Interesting. I don't know what kind of coating there. There's, I don't know, but yeah, quite interesting. So you got different denominations here. Those. I also got the playmat, which might be a bit extra. Comes obviously sealed in this business. Yeah, I don't think it's going to fit back in the box, but we shall see. We got a nice little. I don't think it's monogrammed. What is that? I don't know what the saying of that. It is stitched on the side, which is good because there's not going to be any sort of fraying. It's black on the back. Back in black. And then we have the lovely island nation of Japan here. The score track is done properly. It's got all the different numbers. I hate when they're lazy and want to save the ink and don't have the numbers in between that. And then you have all of the different little tracks and boxes and stuff that you would need for the game. So, and it's kind of muted, but not really. I mean, I've seen worse printed mats, but this one is not one of them. I think the quality is pretty good on this. Yeah, so it's actually pretty interesting. Let's look at the box a little bit. I'm gonna have to. It's actually pretty idyllic. You have a sort of competing sort of cultures there. You have some of the old school tech versus some of the new stuff. And then for you cat lovers, there is a tiny kitty right there. But yeah, it's very fascinating at this point in history of, at least from what I read, how quick, Japan was able to sort of industrialize, comparatively to, other nations. So, that in itself is really something worth noting. But, yeah, it looks like the box, is in good shape, unlike some of the other Kickstarters that I've gotten fairly recently. Maybe the mailman, I made peace with them somehow. Inlay of the box seems to be pretty good. Nothing special. Just looks like a little bit of waves here, but I'm gonna have to push it out to the side. We get this little packing thing here. And that's a lot of wooden components here in a little styrofoam tray. So let's start with this here. We have meeples here, slightly different than, say, the Carcassonne one. They all look like they're wearing, like, conductor hats. I mean, they're not sort of screen printed as some of the other components there. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be or not, but whatever. You have some cylinders here. And they have different things on them here. You got, yeah, so sorry if I didn't do my research ahead of time. It's been a bit, and I was just kind of happy that this came in. They're not double-sided. But yeah, that one has a book on it. That one has somebody waiting to hit the right answer in Jeopardy, and that's if you want to touch your cylinder on the side there. So you get different versions there. I'm not sure if that corresponds with player color or just whatever. And then you have some ships. They're pretty neat. Yeah, I'm assuming this is the correct player color, considering you have two of these here. There's little cogs here. So yeah, a lot of stuff in this box. And I haven't even got to like the punch boards or anything here yet. Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna show up or not. Yeah. And we have some trains. It's gonna be fun to put this back together too. Probably run a video of how to put this back together, or at least how I figured out how to put it together, if somebody hasn't done so already. But yeah, it's funny, I didn't even get like a notification about this being shipped out, so kind of surprising there. So yeah, you got one for each one of these player colors. One of these is just 100, and then it goes up higher to that. And then we have sort of these cogs here. Kind of remind me of the stuff from 51st State for some strange reason. And then we have the rest of these resource things here. We have these tokens here that look like bananas, flower petals. I don't know. But these are on the thinner side, but they're still good quality. You have these. Looks like. I don't know what these are. They've got sort of different things on them. But that seems to be in a supply there. Maybe they're bonus tiles. We have some shipping crates. And so far it's kind of given me a Yokohama vibe. I haven't really bought the new version. I still have the old Tasty Minstrel version, and I like that one quite a bit, so never really wanted to upgrade it. We have some flower tiles. In different sort of weird denominations. These are definitely correlated with player color. And then we have some of these. See, lots of tokens here. I don't know how heavy this game is. I mean, the box is pretty heavy, but in terms of gameplay, hopefully it's not too bad. You know, me personally, I just, at this juncture in my life, I don't really have that much brain power to begin with, and then, you know, dealing with the kids there. So we have cloth, it looks like, but honestly it looks kind of like meat to me. Some ribs. Maybe I'm just hungry. And then we have some, assuming it's coal, I would have to say. I don't know how well that's going to show up. Yeah, it's not going to show up, so I kind of apologize for that, but whatever. And then we have some of these anvils here. Maybe they're not anvils, I don't know. Maybe spool, I don't know. But yeah, that's what's in this sort of little tray here. There's some ASMR for you people. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but yeah, we have some punch boards here. Different tiles. And I think, yes, some of this... No, actually, no. I don't think this would actually be replacing any of the wooden components, but let me see how well they come out. Pro tip, always get it from the back. But yeah, this one at least punched out pretty well. Quality is, you know, about normal for board game stuff. They seem to punch out pretty easy. I think the trick is going to be with the smaller ones, but yeah, no, they're coming out pretty clean, I'll be honest, which is a good sign. So yeah, you have quite a few of these different punch boards here, different sort of factory tiles, lots of iconography, but I think, you know, once you get familiar with it, it'll be great. They seem to have two different sides. Once again, I apologize. I haven't played this game. Didn't play the original either. But yeah, it looks like they might have two different sides. Maybe there's an upgrade to it, or maybe it's just the way it comes out. We have this board here, which this one got a little jacked up. Does it fold out? Yes, it does. So I'm not sure if this is, essentially one of the pieces. I can't remember as of right now if it was one of the pieces that was on the board, the playmat, but whatever. We have punch board with the currency as well as these other markers here. So that's pretty interesting. Oop. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to put away, I'll be honest. And then we have this final punch board tile here with another sort of market board here. This one's a bit trickier to punch out, but it's still coming out pretty clean considering. So yeah, a lot of different tiles here. Hopefully the insert helps with setup, but we'll see about that, I guess. But let me put the stuff to the side real quick. We'll continue. Alright, so we also have, oh, this is quite interesting. Also slightly worrying for me, because of you get a handbook here. Ooh. So it's got all the different sort of products or industry here, maybe. So yeah, you got cotton, paper, bento, lenses, bulbs, and clocks. So yeah, a lot of different things here, but that's actually pretty cool that they give you essentially a menu of what you're getting here. It does explain everything, so that's actually not bad. I have to say, that is kind of scary, but it's thorough, so I'll give them points for that there. Got a nice little turn summary on the back. So yeah, props to that. Hopefully it does its job. And you have like the main rulebook itself. Nothing to really say too much about that, but definitely check for how many, if the components are, I got all the components, I'm not missing anything. So yeah, it's actually quite interesting. So we have the rulebook, and then we have the player board itself, which should mirror the playmat that I got. It does have the name of the game in the back of this, just in case you forget. And yeah, it looks very similar to that. Have to say, yeah, I might actually prefer the. I mean, this is obviously smaller, but I think I actually might prefer the playmat. Sometimes it's not the case with these games. Sometimes you get the playmat and you kind of regret it. But yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. Let me fold it up a little bit. I'll move it around. Yeah, my apologies. But yeah, so then you also have sort of the mission board here that has all these different cities. But yeah, so you get the player board there. Move that to the side. And then you also have the individual player boards here, which are pretty chunky cardboard. Okay. So yeah, you got one of these for each player. They're sort of raised player boards, have it inlay. Each one of them corresponds to player color. I mean, there is a little bit of fraying on that, if you already noticed, but I mean, what can you expect? It's paper. But yeah, so you have different spaces for the factory tiles, you know, your resources and all that other stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty neat, pretty chunky. I have to say that's pretty good quality. And then we have a baggie, which this bag is quite interesting. It's almost like a fake leather kind of thing. That's probably for the coins. And then we also have it's like the individual player trays. So you just kind of give that to everybody. And I have to say, right off the bat, good job with you know, sort of showing where everything goes, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of companies don't do that, and it becomes kind of annoying. And then we also have these trays in the bottom. So I'm gonna load everything up real quick, and then I'll come back to it. Alright, so I actually packed up everything. So first thing to note, there is sort of minimal lid lift. Don't know how well it's going to sort of stay together if it is not flat. But yeah, the what do you call it? That little insert there that is located inside the box is quite helpful. But in case you're wondering, yeah, we have the rule books here. We have the summary there. We got these two smaller boards. Let me put that in there. Got the two smaller boards there. Got the player board there. We have rulebook. We have the player board, and yes, the what do you call it? The player mat is not going to fit in the box, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do? If that was the case, the box would be 90 times bigger than it needed to be. And then you have, let me move this over for right now, just so it's out of the way. Excuse me. So yeah, then you have the player boards here, and then on the bottom of that, you have the individual player trays. So I'm going to just say these tokens a lot. You have these tokens here. And then you have these cardboard tiles here. And then each player gets one of those. You have these gear tokens sitting here. And then you have the boats and the trains on one side versus the other. So each person gets one of these. So it's pretty neat. You can just kind of hand somebody that. Then obviously that I would recommend keeping it, even though this is not too puzzly, to be honest. I've seen worse. I have to say, really good insert. Usually, you know, I'm thinking of the one from La Grange. I forget what company that is, Board and Dice. Which I usually have, you know, both of the Yido and the that other was Yido, and I think it was La Grange that they did. I think it might have been also the Snowdonia insert. It wasn't that great either, but yeah, I'm going on a tangent here. But yeah, you have the these sort of tokens here. You can kind of put one at the end of the table if you really need be. But yeah, you got the silk, the crates, currency. I split them up as well as I can. There is kind of an odd number of them. And then you have the steel there, so that kind of fits pretty well on the bottom. So once again, yeah, this kind of goes back. Nice. There. Oh, I think I'm doing it backwards again. I don't think it really matters how it goes back, to tell you the truth, as long as it's kind of thing. And then on this side, we have, inside the bag, we have the worker meeples. Honestly, I don't know if they're going to stay in there too well. I kind of crunched up the bag enough that it will actually do that. We have these sort of markers here that come out. We have these tiles that are actually A's and B's. If you look at them, they got A's and B's on the back. They all fit there. I'm not sure if they're supposed to go from like an ascending or descending order. I'm not 100% sure yet, because yeah, obviously I haven't played it, so they fit well in there. You have these tokens here that have these backs. There's different colors to them. Once again, don't know what they do. Haven't played it. Sure, somebody will correct me. You have these tokens here. Yeah, how many times am I going to say tokens? They have different backs here. I'm sure, I think it's like maybe one-time abilities. But they definitely have some different variety there. Those fit, yeah, kind of snugly. You have these tiles here. Once again, I'm not sure if they're supposed to be paired up or they're just supposed to be, you know, the random setup. But essentially it looks, there seems to be two of each kind. So there's that. I don't know what kind of accent that was. You have these chunky worker tokens here that are double-sided. And then get a grip on life, get a grip on the pieces. Wow. Man. So yeah, it is a bit snug, but they do come out pretty well. You have these tiles here that have these 4 different sort of resources on them that fit here. And then the box recommend, the little insert thing recommended you're sticking some of these here, and these will actually house this tile here, which I think is a solo, or if you're playing with a smaller player count. But these seem to house the 2 and 4 factory tiles. While this little area here and this space there, this area houses the 6 ones. So there's that, and then once again it kind of goes back pretty nice and neat, pretty self-explanatory. I got the stuff that I put behind me. Yeah, you definitely just have to remember to sort of stick it on the side that kind of has that angle, otherwise it's not going to fit. But yeah, and you have the turnover summaries, the little sideboards, the market board thing. You put that to the side, that goes on, and then you got your pretty much closed box. So yeah, there we have it. Nippon, I'm not sure if that's pronounced correctly, from Polo Soledad and Nuno Bizarro Sentido from Crowd Games. Anyways, take care. Be safe.